What a whale of a matchup we have for your You Pick Tuesday winning video. Markus Ruhl, the great big German giant, versus this big newcomer, Rubiel Mosquera, otherwise known as Neckzilla. And this was, like I said, the winning video for You Pick Tuesday. Get it up to 500 likes. I know you guys can do it. I believe in you. Get it up to 500 likes. I will do the rest of the requests. Flex Wheeler there. That looks pretty cool. Ramon Dino. Yeah, 500 likes. I'll do the rest of them. But on with this one. You guys have been requesting a lot of matchups with this Rubiel Mosquera as of late. So I would like to take perhaps a little break off doing comparisons with him after this one. But hey, I like to give you guys what you want. And I am working on a special feature that I probably will be releasing tomorrow. So look forward to that. Not just a comparison. But these comparisons do tantalize me, and I'm sure you as well. Wow. Upper body versus lower body. Is there any question? I don't think there is much of a question. I don't think there's any aspects of the upper body. We have a pretty good V-taper for Markus Ruhl. Arms, I don't think that Rubiel can touch him in that aspect. Midsection, I guess midsection maybe. Now, the wheel department, Markus Ruhl is known for a massive, and I mean massive, set of calves. So that'll be interesting to look at the calf comparisons in this one. But quads, Markus is decent, more than decent. But I mean, come on. You can only go but so far. Now there is this shot of Neckzilla. And I think he needs to learn to perfect the poses just a little bit more. I mean, for a rookie, very polished. Very polished. But for a guy that I want to see on that Olympia stage, top first call out maybe, I'd like to see a little bit more perfection in the pose. But this pose, he is doing excellent job of opening up a little bit more in the arms, showing them who they are. But Markus, look at tricep, bicep sweeps. What do you want here? Here's the front lat spread. And in most cases, this is where Rubiel really shows his true salt, his gusto, how good he really is. He's not just a big mass monster. And Markus Ruhl, the same could be said about him. I never liked the way he used to hit this front lat spread. He'd almost go to a most muscular, hiding the lats themselves. Now here is an awesome picture of Ruhl back in the late 90s, if I'm not mistaken. A couple of shots. It was absolutely his best version. Overall, I don't know. I think his back was better a little bit later on in his career, but he looks very polished here. Camera is definitely lower, worth to mention. So it's going to make the front lat spreads look a whole lot better. Camera angles, things of that nature, you have to take all that into consideration when making these comparisons up. Here is the turn to the side. Oh my goodness. Look at the size of the pecs on Markus Ruhl, both of these guys. But man, Markus Ruhl, the far pec. Now, this is a situation where I do appreciate the guys that don't open up totally, like Arnold says, show them who you are. But when you have it, you can flaunt it like this, directly from the side. You can see the far pec, the close pec. Nothing but meat. Nothing but meat. Instead of nothing but net, that's nothing but meat in the pecs of Markus Ruhl. And hey, Rubiel, Rubiel, he represents too in the pec department. He's pure meat. Lower half, sorry, Ruhl. Sorry. You know how it is. You know what's going on. Here's the side tricep. Markus Ruhl, he had a good arm, depending on what pose he was hitting. I mean, this side tricep, I think maybe his biceps were bigger than his triceps. Because you look at Rubiel, man, he is meat, bicep, double time it, Billy, in the tricep region. And when it's even close in the upper body, need I say The lower half, guys. The lower half of Rubiel. Neckzilla. Call him Quadzilla if you want. Go to the back shot. And here is where Ruhl, he was not just a great big mass monster. He was very complete in the wheels from behind. His hamstrings were, they were rivaling that of almost anybody up there. And the width of the back, a little bit more peel. Keep in mind he was going against guys like Ronnie King Coleman, who was shredded. Gunther Schlierkamp back then had some strided glutes. So he had all that against him. But having said that, look at the calves, guys. Look at the calves. These two giants are shooting it out as far as that's concerned. I'm going to give an edge to the big Rubiel in that aspect. But the back itself, I don't know, man. And condition, glutes, sure. But they weren't focused on the glutes as much back then. I guess they were, somewhat. But hamstrings, all days, babies please. Here's the rear double, a pose that I believe is a better shot for Neckzilla and maybe not as good for Markus Ruhl. And that shows how good Markus Ruhl really was. Like I said, not just a great big mass monster with big arms. He had a pretty balanced back shot, hamstrings, pretty diced. Needs a little more separation in the glutes. And not as tight, not as neatly drawn out in the back region, lat insertions, things of that nature. Sing as Neckzilla. But that's a pretty prestigious shot there for the newcomer, the rookie. Can't believe this guy's a rookie. Now, with Markus Ruhl, he's your man. Detail, conditioning, I would vote for Rubiel Mosquera. And calves, I think Markus was flexing his calves a little bit better in the rear lat spread. They don't look quite as big in this comparison here. Now, for those of you who are wondering, why don't you show 2004 Mark's Max Muscle? Here's 2004, and I don't think he was as wide, girthy in the back department. I really think he was trying to defeat your Ronnie King Colemans and your Jay Cutlers from behind. So he was trying to pack on that width. So maybe a little bit better conditioned here, but I don't think he's any better overall than he was in, say, like 2006, I think, when the other pictures are from. Here's the abs and thigh. And yes, I think this is 2006 Markus Ruhl. He was pretty darn complete. He was huge. His wheels, I think, were improved. The lats themselves, midsection, he was never going to be Frank Zane in the midsection, Markus Ruhl, but kudos to him for bringing some fine cuts, some pretty deep cuts in those abs and obliques. Rubiel, he looks decent in this shot. I would like to see him tilt a little bit, like he was in that front double at the start, where the second one, went aesthetic a little bit, posed to the physique, and show those quads a little bit more. Maybe learn to just put one forward like Markus Ruhl's doing. Abs and thigh, I like to see just one putting out there. Here is the most muscular final say on this, guys. Little too smooth in the wheel department is Ruhl to compete against this big hunk of a man. This great big Neckzilla, can you believe it? Upper body, yes, Markus is going to have this all day, like Louis Margot says, all day, babies, please. Prapa. It's been a while since I watched Louis Margot. Shout out to him, though. The shoulders, the clavicle width, Markus Ruhl, maybe the widest bodybuilder of all time. And that is the only, and I don't want to call it a weakness of Rubiel, but maybe his least strong point is that aspect. So if you're going to focus on that, yeah, you're going to go with Ruhl entirely in this matchup. If you're going to focus on the wheels, I guess this is a crab position, and this is the final say on it. It's the same thing here. This is 2004, I believe, and we didn't go with 2004 because there's only a couple of shots. There's only a couple of pictures. So I like to have a complete series, and he was awesome back in the 90s, but there was a few shots that definitely his back and things of that nature. He wasn't as complete. Wasn't as complete. So who would you guys give this to? I would give a slight edge to probably Rubiel, and I say probably because this is one of those situations where it could ultimately go to either man. Side shots I was giving to Rubiel because of the lower half. And he looked great from the upper body, especially that side tricep. Now the back shots, I don't know. I would probably go again with Rubiel due to the condition, but Markus Ruhl in that rear lat spread probably doing enough to even win that shot. So very debatable, very close matchup between Markus Ruhl here and Rubiel. He's a new guy. He's one of the big newcomers. I'm not going to be making these comparisons and say, oh, he's losing to this guy, he's losing to that guy. When it's so close like that, you'd need to be there, and that's obviously impossible to say. But trust me, guys, if you can see it from the pictures, you could be able to see it live on stage. And the conditioning from behind Rubiel might be slightly tighter. Could be. And if that would be the case, they'd probably give it to him. Markus Ruhl, upper body, nobody's as big as this guy. Huge. So yeah, what a matchup, guys. Let me know in the comment section. Markus Ruhl or Neckzilla? Who's winning this one? Markus Ruhl, look at his neck. Measure that one. Huh? Take a look. Have a great one, guys.